Hey you, and welcome. In this video, we're going to write our own blog using HTML that we have learned so far. This is putting it to test. So let's dive right into it. Before we get started, I wanted to show you this website called w3schools.com. And this is the website that you should go for all your CSS, JavaScript, HTML needs. And I'm in the HTML section right now. And on the left-hand side in the sidebar, you can see all the different things that you would need for HTML are listed. Not only that, they are explained in detail, more detail than I can go into. And they also allow you to try it. So they have a built-in editor. You can click on try it now and it will give you a sample output of what it may be. So there's a very good resource. And that's the reason why I would tell you never to memorize the HTML tags. Just practice them. Eventually you'll just memorize the ones that you always use. And that's what's supposed to happen. If you try to memorize them and that's the only way you're going to progress to the next level of like, let's learn CSS next, JavaScript, not only is it going to take too long, but also you may get discouraged to learn any further. So I would say don't worry about memorizing it. Just follow along. If you're in the tutorial I'm writing, you can write too, and that may be a good way to get started. All right. So what I want to do is if I go back to my VS Code, I have my simple browser open. Let's just keep it open. I'll make it smaller. And then I'll start with a new file. Let's call this blog.html. And in this file, I will do Command-Shift-P and work with the snippets, HTML doc, and get started like that. I'll name the title up here. Instead of title, I'll call it My Blog. Save. And to navigate to it in the simple browser, I will just say, instead of file.html, I'll go to blog.html. Perfect. I think I have to refresh here. Oh, there's no body. There we are. Okay, so let's start with H1, my blog, save. Perfect. That's a good start. All right, so let's see what else I want to do. I want to put the heading of every blog. So this is going to be my blog that will have multiple blog entries. Every blog will have a title, a description, maybe an image. I'll put in an image in there and links to go to the blog page or the blog in the HTML file. So let's see how we can do that. I'll work with H2 tag for the title, so title 1. Next, I'll work with the paragraph tag for the description. Now, I don't want to really write the description, so what I'll do, I'll go over to Marketplace, and there's an extension called Lorem Ipsum. Right there, I'll install this. And after installing it, I'll hide the Marketplace and close the extension page. And in this P tag, I will go into edit mode and just go to Command-Shift-P, Lorem Ipsum. Insert line, insert paragraph. Let's do paragraph. And there we are. It just gives me the content and I think it will be good enough for us. And we don't have to write anything just for testing purposes. See if it works out for us or not, right? Here too, in the title, I can actually provide Command-Shift-P, Lorem Ipsum. And instead of a paragraph, insert one line only. There we are. We have a title. And we just copy paste this again and again. So 3 times. Save that. And that's our blog post working. Now clicking on the H1 should take me to that page. And how do we do that? So I know there's an A tag involved. That's what I remember. If you don't remember, that's perfectly fine. Go to Firefox, go into HTML section for W3 Schools and search for links. I can just do Command F, search for links, and HTML links is right there. Click on that and it will show you this is the syntax for writing a link tag. So I just copy paste this right above, like so. There we are. All right. So there should be a link somewhere here, link text, perfect. But it's not, my title is not the link. The other section is. So what I will do, instead of having link text as the content, I will put H1 directly inside the A tag. And that's fine. We can do that. In the href, I will just put a hashtag. That's an empty href. That means it doesn't go anywhere, but we could make it go somewhere. All right. So let's go ahead and save. And there we are. Now we are able to click on that heading. Perfect. Let's copy this over, replace it with the other H1s. Actually, I should work with H2. I didn't realize I was working with H1s here. H2. What I did there was use the VS Code way of selecting multiple entries of the same type of word. And then when you're selected all of them, just go ahead and edit and all of them will change. That's a little bit of an effort to learn, but once you learn it, it's very, very satisfying to work with. All right. So I'll go ahead and save. That's looking good. One thing more I want to do is add a form to my blog. And in this form, I will say you can contact me, provide me your name, your phone number, your email address, and a comment, and you can submit that. All right, so let's see how we can do that. I'll scroll down on the right, and right under line number 20 where I have the P tag, I'll start a form tag, and the form tag will have a input. Oh, let's start with label. Full name. So provide me your full name, and then I'll provide the input tag. Again, if you don't remember, go to Firefox, go to the HTML section, search for form, HTML forms, and you can see different input types. Let's go down here. You can see all the different input types you can work with. I'm working with just text for now, right here, but I do want email and telephone number as well, so I could work with that. So let's first copy over text. I can just copy paste it. Let's go back to Firefox and let's copy over telephone number right there. Paste that as well. Let's, yeah, we also need a submit button. Let's get that. And we also need email right there. Perfect. And let's put that in. Save. Let's scroll down and there's our form. Of course, it's not looking so hot, so let's go ahead and change that. I'll put line break everywhere. There we go. That's looking much nicer. Let's provide label for all of these inputs. Submit will be under actually. So let's make the submit go down. Yes. Telephone number or phone number. I'm not from the long time ago. Phone number, phone name now. Phone number, email. And then there's no label for submit. Save. Great, the form is looking good. I can provide the information I need and submit. That should work just fine. Now for the email, you can see that browser automatically just detects that this is not an email because of there's no @ sign. So there's some validation there, which is pretty cool. Perfect, that works. Okay, so with the form working, let's make one more change to our blog. For every blog, I want to provide an image, and we haven't learned about image tag at all. So how do we make that happen? So let's go over to our resource and see if we can find it. I'll go over to the sidebar and search for image. There we are, HTML images. And in the HTML images, they'll show you how to render it out. If I scroll further down, this is a sample code. I can copy paste it into my HTML. So let's go head over to there and paste it right under the heading. No, over the heading. Over the heading will look nicer. And the src attribute is set to pic_truly.jpg. This file needs to exist in your directory, otherwise it won't work. So that's one way to do it. Or if you have a image online that you want to use, then you can just put the URL for that in your src, and that would work okay as well. So let's quickly do that. I'm going to find an image from the web and try to get the link for it. So back in the W3 Schools documentation for image, there are a few images already set up here. So I'll just go ahead and right click on this and click on copy image link. That will give me the URL for it. And if I go back to my VS Code, I can just replace src content with the actual URL for it. So I'll go ahead and save. Let's see how it looks. Scroll up. There we are. Image is looking nice. There is another attribute on the right side, alt. That's required for image. I mean, if you don't provide it, it's still going to render. So when I say required, it's required by the browsers to say, in case the image doesn't load or it takes too long, what do we show in its place? What text are you going to show? And you can just describe what the image will look like. You can say image of a house, image of something. That's an alt text for somebody to see. Of course, that has also to do with the accessibility for people who are using screen readers to view the website rather than a web browser. So there's consideration about that. So I'll copy paste this image link a few times to make our blog a little fancier. Save that. Perfect. I have image everywhere. I have blog entries. I have links. I have paragraph tags. One more thing I want to show you because I haven't shown you that tag, and that's one of the most popular tags to work with. However, it doesn't really serve much purpose. Let me, without talking too much about it, let's just go into this. I'll start a new tag called div. And I guess this means dividing the page into some way, or this is called semantic tag. And what we will do is put all of our content inside the div for every one of these. Close right there. There we are. So every blog is surrounded by div. And if I press save, nothing happens. And the reason for div would be that you want to surround it for styling purposes. You want to surround it for identifying, you want to provide an ID for this. So that's what you would put divs mostly for. I've used divs for dividing this so we can style them better. That's mostly the use case. So let's see that in action. I'm going to try and style my divs using a style tag that we haven't looked at yet. It goes in the head like so. And I can provide a selector for a tag, in this case div tags. I can target all div tags and provide curlies right after that. Space is not necessary, but I provided just for readability purposes. And I will change the background color of all the divs to pink. And there we go, it's working. I can see that it's pink color div, there's another pink color div, and then another pink color div. So you would see div being used for just maybe styling purposes sometimes, or targeting different areas of your page. All right, with that out of the way, I'll see you all in the next video.